Hey, how's it? Aloha. Well, 2 for Thursday, the one I did this morning, was early enough in the morning where I said I'm going to do another one. And as promised, I am coming back with Symphony X, and I'm doing a song called Nevermore. So this will be really fun and exciting. I've never heard their work. Once again, introduced to me by the comments. So thank you guys so much. Like I've said before, it's one of the great things that I'm getting out of this channel. It's not all about what I'm thinking, it's also about what you guys are saying. It's going to educate me too, as an old composer, hence the decomposer. So anyhow, we're going to get on with this. If you have never seen me do what I do, I try to give you a little more from a composer's point of view to maybe enjoy a little bit more of what you already love about the song. And then occasionally when I can, I sprinkle in a little bit of theoretical stuff, but I try to keep it really simple, as I like being the gateway drug to, new listeners maybe taking the next step and learning a little more about music. Finally, I want to thank you guys for tipping me my little cup of coffee. You guys are so cool. I'm getting 50 cents, $1 or $2, but it really makes a difference. And since my channel is not monetized, if you see any ads running on this, it's not mine. Copyright claims. As a matter of fact, YouTube won't monetize my channel for some weird reason, so that's okay. I'm doing this for the love of doing it. All right, here we go. Symphony X Nevermore. All right.
Across the sea of light to the dungeons of the damned. Scorching winds blazing, thunder clouds raging here. I make my stand. The viper's venomous bite has brought on the night. Swept away like a bird of prey. Now there's hell to pay, from darkness into light. Nothing matters anymore. My strings ring hollow, bleeding nevermore, nevermore. Can't let go. Your silence tells me all I need to know. Nevermore. Strike a chord. The walls of silence fall. Nevermore.
Wow. Okay. The first thing that I got to say is the stamina in the musicianship here is absolutely mental. I am a guitar player, but I'm also a keyboardist, and I do all because I'm a composer for media. I have a couple instruments I play and stuff, but predominantly I love guitar. And man, that going on and going on and going on and going on, that is like I was feeling a cramp in my finger. Well, I'm also old too, but in my fingers just thinking about that. So the opening riff is extremely powerful, where you've got these punchy eighth notes that finish off that riff with that's just, you're going, man. You are just going. And then the bass in unison also following that. Now, one of the things that I noticed in the engineering here, this is one of those tracks where in the decision of producing and engineering, they decided to go ahead and just jam you up a little bit hotter with the guitars. And the guitars are hard left, hard right. Since I don't know the band, I didn't look them up. I don't know if there's two guitar players or what, but it does sound like it's one guitar player with probably a double mic'd cab or whatever. It could be plugins. I don't know. I doubt it is. Wait, don't kill me on the comments. Don't hit that dislike yet. But it sounds like singular playing. There's not double going on here, meaning two guitar players handling the same riff, possibly. And something else I want to bring to your attention before I get into the hook of the song is staying on the engineering. So you have the hard left, hard right of the guitar, but you also have this very unique pocket that the drums have placed in. You know how I am about the drums. Very ambient as it may be, meaning like when you listen to it in the cans, you know the drums are in a room. Remember we talked about overhead mics, and then all the mics around the kit, and then the kick, and then the kick usually has its own life in the middle. It's usually void of ambience, but it's kind of a little deeper. It's not so much in your face. So it seems to me that at the moment of engineering this, or if maybe this is their signature way of engineering for Symphony X, is that the guitars have really taken, just a little bit of a kick. Then the vocals, I want to listen a little deeper before I get into any more of the vocals. The melody is fantastic for this track, but you guys know how I go with this. I don't treat the vocalist as a lead singer, but they are part of the instrumentation of a piece of work. So I listen to them in whole. And then in the hook, it sounded like there was some pad work in the back. Now remember, I'm not familiar with the band, so I don't know what their signature style is. But it sounds like, well, if it's Symphony X, obviously they've got to be very symphonically brain fart, I'm sorry, but symphony on the mind. God, I need more gin coba. Anyhow, let's go ahead and continue to listen. I'm going to go back a little bit, and then we'll punch forward for a few more minutes here. I don't know how long the song is. They say it's 6 minutes. I don't care. This is still great. Let's do that. Okay, that's what I wanted to say. Sorry, brain fart recirculating. That those big pads in the back have the voicings of a rich orchestral kind of style pad playing in the keyboards. Very wide open, very big voicings. So it makes for a very large, broad, ambient kind of theatrical kind of vibe there. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, I'll go back a little bit and we'll continue.
Falling in the cryptic dead. Curse the dark with a longing heart and a soul. You will rise again. On tragic wings I take flight. Bring on the night. Eyes of stone ripping, flesh from bone into depths unknown. From darkness into light. Nothing matters anymore. My streets ring high.
Okay, sorry, I know it's sacrilege to stop in the middle of a verse, but I'm hearing this for the first time and there's a lot of stuff happening that I want to try to catch. First of all, let's just start from the end backwards, where I just went, whoa, I love when production and engineering or the bands take affect risks in engineering that can be duplicated actually in live, so that when they all cut out and there was that reverse swell, it sounded like it could have been a reverse swell, and then punches you back into that hook. I really love that. That kind of stop challenge really actually stop challenges you in here and in here. It kind of resets you a little bit. Who is this guitar player? I don't know who it is. I'll find out. You guys will drop your comments. But oh my God, I don't know. I could not even in my best days consider doing that. Just absolutely mind-numbing. Now I hear a little more of the vocalist here, and what a powerful voice. I'm not too sure. Don't shoot me down, still got to listen to it a little bit, but there seems to be certain areas where there might be some doubling, which is not a bad thing. Doubling does not take away from the musicianship of a band, of an instrument, of a vocalist. It's just a technique just to make the track sound a little fuller and richer. It's not a trick, it's a technique, and it adds to the depth and the richness and the dynamics of vocals in certain areas. And that's purely for the production. That's what I love about producing music and composing, is that when you have the liberties of being able to layer or do certain things depending on the integrity of what the band wants or the artist wants or whatever, you could really, and this is where you can get lost and you can overdo it, but you can really take some great chances and stuff, and it seems like these guys are doing that. So Did I cover everything that I wanted to there? Yeah, the drummer's just sick. I don't know enough what else I could say about him at the moment. All right, here we go. We'll go back a little bit and see if I can't make a longer stretch of this.
Lost in shadows of what might have been. Bloodless spirits wept in fear. Before it all, anguish slowly pulls me in. Abandon hope, all who enter here.
So you guys obviously saw me taking some notes, and I'm glad I did because so much was going down there. First thing is I love the fact that they were doing the time changes that they did. You saw me counting, and it's because this is the first time I'm listening to the track. I don't like taking the risk saying, well, I think they were going from a 7/8 to a 5/8, but groupings of 3/3/3/2, because that requires me going back, and I'm not that guy. I don't want to be that guy. There's enough of them that do that. I want to be the guy that I guess I am. But I love that. But here's something else that I totally dug about that. Modulations. These guys are not afraid to modulate. They modulated earlier, and then there was a modulation going into the solo, I believe, it felt like. The solo, what I loved about the solo is that, you know, there are some, I don't want to use the term standard, but when you get into symphonic style soloing, I bring up Yngwie because we just all know who Yngwie Malmsteen is. There's some telltale signature phrasings that will go on in some of the solos, but I think it was the second round of 8 bars where he had these great intervals that were going on that were very soulful yet still very metal and symphonic. Another thing is that the palm harmonics a couple times that he kind of clips off of there. I love that stuff. That's the soul of the guitar. That is the essence of taking your instrument and being, you know, not so epically technical, but knowing when to drop those one of 25 techniques a guitar player can do with muting and hands and harmonies and thumb clips and all kinds of stuff, and banging your whammy bar and all kinds of stuff. What else did I have here? Solo. Nope. Hey, I hit it. All right, let's finish the rest of this song. All right, let's do this. All right. Oh my goody goo goo. Oh, that was fantastic. That's absolutely nuts. I want to go back to the vocals really quick. One thing that I noticed with how he sings is he obviously has different textures that he can use. I loved his clear, powerful voices, but there were a couple of times where he had to turn on kind of a little bit of the crispy overdrive up there, and that sounded fantastic. Once again, you know, I'm sorry, I'm focusing a little more on the guitar, I think, on this also because in the mix it is just so, you know, present in the headsets. Another modulation that came out of that, which was great. The solo in the second half, or this last passage where there was solo, was more metal rock driven, pentatonic. You know, is nicely locked in what I would consider, you know, what we're used to hearing for, you know, core metal or rock metal kind of music, even back in the days. You know, like some of the phrasing there, I was like, good old rock and roll. There we go. There's some, you know, pentatonic, you know, magic going on there. Anyhow, wow, Symphony X. I'm definitely diving more into this. If you guys have any suggestions on any of their tracks that might have a little more symphonic, if that's, I think they do have some of that going on there, please drop the link in the comments because I'm just too lazy sometimes to go copy paste, open up another browser. But thanks for hanging out. I hope you got a little kick out of my reaction response review and analysis. And thanks for hanging out, man. This was killer. I had a blast. By the way, this will be down below as a link. Also a link for my headsets if you guys are, you know, I still have people asking about the headsets, AKG 240s. And I also have a little link for you if you want to buy me a cup of coffee. Hey, because this channel's not monetized. So anyhow, thanks you guys, and thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the suggestions, and all right, aloha.